Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey, 12:30 a.m. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey, a.m. 12:30. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, good afternoon. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is your reality check for Thursday. Today, Thursday. Isn't it Thursday? Yeah.
It is.
Gerard Stevens with you. Our number, 504-582-9422. Make sure that you get in on the conversation. And I have the pleasure of talking to the lady that is responsible for so much. Good Lord, I could probably think about 4 or 5 things to say you're responsible for. But she's also the sheriff and boss. The boss lady has come to talk to us, and I am so glad to have her in the building. Would you please welcome the sheriff of Orleans Parish, Miss Susan Hudson. Welcome.
Thank you, G. Honored to be here, as always.
It is that time of the year, and I mean you're busy because you're doing so much for folks with, making sure that their excitement in this holiday season carrying through. You got tents going out. You got a big old party you just had too, and going to everybody else's too. You just coming from one down at the Sanchez Center too.
Yeah, when Laurentine Ward Community Center down there, and seniors having a good time cutting up in the lower nine. It was good.
And I just want to say we gonna work on that that line dancing.
Oh, I gotta work on that a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. So what else is going on with the sheriff's office?
Well, let me tell you, I am feeling so grateful, thankful. We had an amazing Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many volunteers come out. We had fraternities, sororities, community groups, churches come in groups out there to serve our citizens of the city who came for a great meal and our 50th anniversary of the Thanksgiving celebration. And people just had a great time. Irvin Mayfield just showed up. And
playing with Leo.
Woo,
Leo Nocentelli. Yes,
phenomenal.
Indeed.
And of course, the incomparable Irma Thomas, who's been at all of them.
Ain't lost a lick.
Nothing. And phenomenal. And just down to earth, even though she's,
the queen.
Yes. So what an amazing give back toward this community that we love. If you live in this city, it's because you love it. And it's an amazing city. And we get to give back. That really kicked off my Christmas, holiday spirit. And then last night we had our event in our office for the 700 people in this office who do so much for this community, whether it's to hold those who make us unsafe in this jail, to get them to court so they can face justice, and we keep the courts safe, all courts.
I think a lot of folks don't realize that this is the Orleans Justice Center in itself. That's not even talking about the civil part of it, but
That's right.
The Justice Center in itself is like a small city.
It's a little city. We got our own power plants. We got our own kitchen, supplies, warehouses. Yeah, we got it all.
And just to say that, you have to keep all of that going every day.
That's right.
A lot of folks really don't understand. They think you're just locking folks up and that be end of it. But that's and then of course you have another entity that is getting ready to start in probably a year or two, and that's going to be the mental health wing.
Mental health jail, and I want to call it exactly that because that's what it is, a mental health jail.
I was trying to be nice, but
I'm not going to be nice.
Your whole facial expression changed.
Every time I look at it, it just hurts my heart. I ran for sheriff in part to run against that. We lost in court. But you know what? We're going to deal with it and, make the most out of it that we can. And then we'll use the other facilities to dream about mental health, a public-facing mental health facility, not a jail, public-facing where anybody can get help for their family, their loved ones who may need it. So we're gonna, what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. We're gonna, that's what we're gonna do with that.
So I guess the question is, if I had to ask the sheriff that is in charge of so much, we're at the end of 2024, getting ready to go to 2025. What do you want to see, and what is on your wish list for next year?
Well, I came into office without really a transition. There was no cooperative transition that went on. So we jumped in, with our hair on fire, drinking through a fire hose, all that good stuff. A lot going on, and everything you could possibly think of happening. And then we jumped into the mix on Mardi Gras, which is not what we do.
Yeah.
So we've started taking on some more duties that we really didn't take care of before I got into office. But I'm grateful for the men and women of this department who have said, yeah, we want to serve our community,
Mm-hmm.
but they want to do more. So now that we've gotten to the point where we're getting the structures in place that this organization needed, we have old technology. We've got all new technology coming in, the data-driven,
Right.
right? And so we're really excited about all that coming in. And we want to focus on the part of public safety that we can control. Like most people think I decide who comes in and out of the jail, and I don't do that.
Right.
They're mostly arrested by other agencies, and they cannot get out until a judge says they get out.
So I had to ask a question because I made a statement. I have a tendency to make statements. So I made a statement, and I want you to clarify this for me because I think I asked you the question, but I thought about it as I watched the presentation of certain folks in certain offices that seemed to beat you up a little bit when it came down to budgeting.
Yeah.
And one of the questions was, why do you have so many people in the jail and yada, 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 yada? Because it sounded like to me, now this is just my personal opinion, it sounded like to me like they were blaming you
Exactly.
for having so many people in the jail. And I was like, well, did he ask the police department that? Did he ask the judges that? Did he ask any of the state police? Or when they're bringing in, because, and I make no bones about this, but I'm over there just about every day or every other day that I'm looking. I always see them when they're pulling to bring somebody into the jail.
That's right. That's right. And they were asking
But
questions.
they didn't ask those questions to anybody else.
Exactly. Seems a little political. Maybe it is. But those questions have to be asked because we provided the information.
Mm-hmm.
I met with every single actor in this criminal justice system to say, here are things that we think you can do to help us get this population down and right size it and get people out faster because they're getting out. All right. Almost 10,000 people get arrested per year. They can't stay in the jail. It could only hold maybe 1,550.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's getting out. Let's do it. Let's process, be more efficient so people can get back to work or whatever they're trying to do. I put those recommendations to all of them and I said, what do you recommend? Nothing. Nothing really came back. We do work with all of our partners as best we can, but systemically, we all have to move efficiently for this to work. And that has not happened. And so then we sent all those recommendations to the city council after the budget meeting as well and said, hey, look, here's where we're at. I have 500 more people in custody than I did when I took office. Now, you do the math. If it cost me, I think it's around $50,000 per year to house somebody under consent judgment. One person. And I now have to pay for more food, medicine, all these things. Do that math. It's millions of dollars.
So let's break that down for a minute. Because, again, one thing I think that we need to understand as the public is the fact when you're talking about housing someone, this ain't somebody just putting them in the jail, throwing away the key, and we'll let you out and, when you get a bond or whatever. You have to make sure that those folks medically have their doctor's appointments, have their medicine.
That's right.
Have to go to dialysis.
That's right.
Have to do and go to these different places. So you're doing transportation to and from court.
That's right.
Or wherever it has to go, whatever they have to do, you have to take care of them.
Wherever they have to go. So if it's, and a lot of specialty
and you got to
treatment.
feed them.
And feed them. And with the juveniles, they get extra food. So that's a whole nother thing. But and you know that the population is driven by mental health, addiction, and trauma. I'm the number one provider of mental health in the city.
And that's a shame.
And one of the largest in the state. And we do have to, and I'm going to continue to use my bully pulpit to talk about, we need public-facing structures. A young man was in our jail maybe 6 months, and we get him stabilized. He leaves because he's released, and his family reaches out and said, we can't afford this medication. So we have to work with them to make sure he continues to stay on that, or he'll come right back to us. So we have to map out in our community all the people who can help with this. He needs housing. He needs his Medicaid. He needs his medicine. He needs therapy. All these things we have to make sure happen. And I'm taking that on. So when you talk about what do we want to do in 2025, we're done cleaning up the department. Now it's time for impact.
Right.
So we want to get people out of the jail and into therapy. We want to get people out of the jail and into jobs. We want to get people out of the jail and into housing.
So this is a part of your reentry program.
That's it.
And you've been reaching out to different partners for the last year, or maybe even longer. I'm just saying the last year because I know that even I've been out here with you, and several different folks start running to you and saying, "Sheriff, I got this idea," and you don't turn them away. You stand there and talk to them.
I listen because this community is so engaged, and my whole platform was written by this community.
Right.
And what they said is, we want to do something better for folks in custody, not just lock them up.
Mm-hmm.
And why? They're our neighbors. They're our loved ones. Not a week goes by I don't get a call about somebody whose loved one is in custody. And
I've been with you when somebody said, "My son, my grandson,
That's right.
In here, da 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 da." And sometimes when I watch the news, though, Sheriff, I got to tell you, I sit around, I'm like, I wonder, is he in the jail?
Yeah.
Because you'd be sitting back and listening to the horror story of what happened. And then I come to you and be like, "You got this one?"
We got to deal with them.
And
People who burn up their
and
children.
Yeah.
Priests who
So
molest
I wasn't going to say it that
children.
way, but I think that's the one you remember me coming to you and saying,
Yeah.
"I know you don't have this one," and you went, "Yeah."
We got them. The pursuit that killed the child last week,
Yeah.
we get them in custody. And the more we find out about what's going on with the folks who come into our custody, we know we can do better.
How, if you had to break down percentages, though, do they give you the percentages? Because I know you do have a mental health specialist and those folks in LSU and all of them working with you. Do they give you a percentage of how many folks in the facility need mental health help or something of that sort?
It's over 50. It's around 55% right now. Yeah. So we have a big, and that's being
That means
diagnosed.
mental health.
They actually have a diagnosis and take medication.
Oh, wow.
So
That's over half.
Yeah. It's a big, big issue. So we're trying to get that right. We were in the lower 9. One of the women pulled me aside and said, "Look, my daughter,
Yeah, I saw her.
she's got a mental health and addiction, and she's going to come in and out of your jail. Can you look for her and try and get her into these programs you're talking about?" We took her name down. Yeah, absolutely. We are trying to do better. We are trying to help our community. These are our neighbors. We know these folks.
But, okay, so now I'm going to be a little selfish.
Okay.
So you don't get credit for this, but you continuously do the work.
Yeah, continuously.
And I'm probably your biggest cheerleader. Only thing that I'm missing is, some pom-poms. I'm not going to put the skirt on because that's not going to look right. That ain't going to look right at all. But I'm looking around and saying to myself, take credit for this, Sheriff. You be like, let's just do the work.
Let's do the work. This is the work of my life. This is the work of my faith and my heart. And so I feel really good about that. I'm going to take my shots here and there to say, hey, look, we did save Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
But I do that on behalf of the men and women who do the work. Those are 20-hour days.
Can you talk about that? Because I've heard you say that twice.
That's right.
I saved Mardi Gras.
That's right. And I keep getting little bitty nitpicking about things for something that isn't even my duty.
From that 3-letter so-called law enforcement person.
And when I think about it, I want just the community to remember this. With 6 weeks to go before Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't plan a wedding in 6 weeks, y'all, for big people.
Right.
6 weeks ago for one of the biggest parties in the world, not anybody in government, not the people who criticize me in government. Nobody came to me and asked for help. This community came to me and asked me for help.
So none of the players that are sitting in front of the microphone that are sitting up there saying, "Hey, you did wrong, you did wrong, you did wrong. And by the way, you're messing over the people's tax money."
Yeah.
None of those folks said, "Let us help you."
Not one.
Now, did you have to take that on?
I did not.
At all?
And
that was a question. Someone asked me. Actually, we had the conversation on the air, and he said, "Well, it was her duty. She had to."
That's not true. That is not true. I'm not responsible for patrolling in this city.
Mm-hmm.
We send deputies out in the street because we love this city, and our deputies love it.
Right.
They love doing this work.
Right.
But let me tell you what happened. We sit down in a meeting with these culture bearers who are asking me for help, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at I bought a big team with me because I'm going to need them to do the work. And I sat there right in front of them, and I said, "Look, can we do this? If we cannot, we shouldn't do this.
Right.
But if we can do this, you have to tell me."
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Yeah, we can do it, Sheriff." And you know what? They did it. They did the work.
They did the job.
We bought in 200 people
Right.
from outside of
Right.
here.
And they love you.
We took good care of them,
Oh man, they love you.
kept
They
them
stopped-
safe.
You know, I gotta tell the story
Go ahead.
because I'm riding, and then I was like, there is a group of marshals
Mm.
standing in the middle of the street waiting for you to come up. I was like, is there something wrong? And they were standing there like, well, okay, we getting ready to arrest somebody or something. I was like, Lord, what's going on? And they were all standing there. And then when they disbanded, the person that was standing behind them had this big box of chocolate and flowers for you,
Yeah.
just to say thank you.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I told the sheriffs and marshals and chiefs that sent us there, deputies and officers, is I will take good care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my team we got to make sure they get breaks, they get food, they get a chance to, just rest. You nothing's worse than a cop who's on their last nerve, right?
Yeah, right.
So we said we got to do all that. And what did the community get in return for that? Some of the safest Mardi Gras we've had.
Right.
One shooting on a parade route in 2 years.
Right.
That's amazing work because they were all in. I got to celebrate them and I got to take care of them. And I asked the city council to do that, and they didn't do that for me this year. And I'm going to continue to campaign for them. They get paid less than the amount what we pay to house somebody per year. It is more money to house somebody in jail than we pay for our deputies in a
Wow.
year. That's wrong.
And I saw the deputies standing at the dais at city council,
That's right.
asking them and telling them reconsider this because of
Yes.
the fact that we have to provide for our families. But do you think that's going to improve the budget?
We're going to continue to fight for that in whatever method we have to.
Because the only raise that they got, you fought for that, what, a year and a half ago?
Year and a half ago. And it was not actually put in our budget. People don't know that. We were just allowed to spend it. And then the city gave us the money at the end of the year. So this year we asked them to actually put it in the budget for those 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And we're grateful for that. And we're not saying anything negative about we thank them for that. But we were so far behind. Deputies were making $15.53 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and hadn't had a raise in 5 years, I think it was, when I came into office. We've gotten them a little bit, but they're not where they need to be
Right.
for the tough work they have to do.
Let's talk about recruitment.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you brought up, I think when you first got into office, you said that as far as the manpower, you're not where you want to be. Where do you want to be as far as manpower? And I don't know if that's in the jailers, or is that the deputies, or a little bit of both?
Well, yeah, when I got into office, we were probably between 45 and 50% staffed.
Mm.
So we're probably about little over 50, 55%, somewhere in there. So we've gone up, but not where you need to be. And we know that after George Floyd is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
We hope law enforcement will rebound and we'll get some more, but it's very tough. So we've got to be. So what I've done is continue to advocate for better salaries, and for our deputies, and then make sure that we're when we got them there, we're taking good care of them. We've got good training. We've upped our training academy now is accredited. We're pouring into them in as many ways as we can,
Mm-hmm.
so that OPSO is a place people want to come work.
So with that being said, if someone is listening to you and saying, "Well, you know what, I think I could do that job," can they apply now?
You can. And even if you don't think you can be a deputy, there are other jobs in the jail that you can do that
Right.
help keep people safe. So, but we need deputies,
Mhm.
and it's a solid job,
Right.
and it's an
Benefits.
opportunity for you to help make your city safe in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're all in on that, we're gonna meet our goals.
Okay. Very, very good. So, with all that being said, you still have a big job to do, and I'm trying to figure out too, with all this stuff that's coming in the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Are you going to have to go back again and get deputies for Mardi Gras?
Absolutely. We're in contact with the city about what they're going to be willing to fund, because we can't fund it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going well. And we, this is our third year now doing it. So
Yeah.
every year it's better and better. It's smoother. I've already asked the Sheriff's Association. We've already disseminated that we'll be asking them for help. So, get ready and let us know what deputies they're willing to send. And we've already been reached out to by marshals and chiefs
They're already saying
that did
Right.
this previous years and want to come again. So we feel good about it. We think we'll get the numbers that we need.
Where do you see the sheriff's department going in the next? I mean, what's what's your pet peeves? These are the things we got to correct. Here are the things that I want to see us go to and move to. I'm trying to get the scoop.
We want to be a well-run agency all around. So the technology is key. We want to run a smart jail, be more efficient in everything that we do. We got tablets coming in here in January.
And that's going to be for the
residents of the jail.
Okay.
So what they'll be able to do is have their phone calls on it. They can have medical and mental health calls on it when they need to talk to a doctor. They'll be able to exponentially have more people be able to treat them with these tablets. Educational programs. We have a literacy program we want to put in there. So it will allow them to keep in touch with their family members, which helps keep the temperature down in the jail.
Right.
So they're going to have free phone calls each day. It's not, the whole thing's not free, but every day they'll have free phone calls, and every week free video calls.
Because one of the things I heard you bring up, but you brought it up, this was a while back, and that was about the number of dollars that families are spending just to accept, those calls from the jail from their loved ones, which can end up being taxing. Very
taxing. We had a young man who was really despondent, and one of the reasons was his family could not afford his phone call that day because another loved one they had to use. They had needed to contact. They said, "We can't do you can't call today. It's got to be another day." That's pretty tough for somebody who's being locked behind bars. And if I want to get them to hear my message to get to something better, they got to be able to hear the message. They can't hear the message when they're feeling that way.
So when the tablets come in?
Well, we're going to be revamping that. We want our chaplains to be like supercharged.
Okay.
We want to make sure they have all the resources that we need and a schedule. So with so few deputies, we've got to do everything on a schedule.
Right.
And so we're working on getting that in place, because not only can they help those residents in the jail, they help our deputies who go through hard times too.
Yeah.
So it's a big program, and giving people some peace in our custody, huge.
Yeah. Holidays. I mean, you got families that are going through the holidays. Yesterday, you had I think was a great bonding moment for everyone that works for OPSO.
Yeah, I don't think people know that when I got into office, very fractured organization, split. You had chiefs who'd been in place for a long time. They each had their own little fiefdoms, and it was who you know, not what you know.
Everybody's sitting in their own little spectrum.
That's right. And we're breaking that up.
Yeah.
So now everything is about merit. We're about to do promotions. These are the things we're giving to our team. Promotions. We got a sergeant's and a lieutenant's exam coming up. I'm watching that process very closely, and we want those who know what's supposed to be done and who can lead the way moving forward. There's opportunities now for everybody in the department.
Don't let the OIG come out on say nothing else. And I'm just wondering why are we revisiting a report that we've done now twice?
And basically, we've done the same thing each year.
Yeah.
So, and the city's not asked us to change anything that we're doing. We give them the entire bill and how we do things, because we watch it very closely to make sure nobody's checking in and then not going to the parade route. We keep really close tabs on that funding. So, so many things go right, and then there's nitpicking about little things.
Hold tight for 1 minute, and I know I got to let you go too, but we'll come right back. Take this break, and we'll be right back with Sheriff Susan Hudson.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Delgado Community College offers programs in business, technology, health sciences, and the arts with over 100 career-focused degrees and certificates that are affordable, flexible, and transferable. We can give you the knowledge and skills to succeed. Delgado is a great fit if you're starting your post-high school education, or we can help you advance or change your career. Take a step toward being unstoppable at Delgado Community College. Visit dcc.edu to learn more today.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Keep up with NOLA Public Schools through Education Elevation. Education Elevation will highlight the achievements, innovations, and contributions of scholars, educators, schools, and the district. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. for engaging conversations and updates as we strengthen connections and support the needs of our scholars. Mark your calendars for every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m.
This is Eddie Francis, your friendly neighborhood WBOK fill-in. Happy holidays to you and yours. Don't eat too much, just enough.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Thursday afternoon, our guest in for the next couple of minutes here because she got a busy schedule. The Sheriff of Orleans Parish, Sheriff Susan Hudson. And Sean, you're on line one. What you say? Sean? Sean, did we miss him? We must have missed him.
Yeah. Hello.
There you go. What you say?
Hey, how y'all doing, man? Look, I just wanted to say, I'm just trying to find out if the sheriff, how involved they are, like the hiring process with kids from, high school, and if they're reaching out, have deputy sheriffs going to the schools and talking to the kids, or even maybe starting a program where the kids in high school can have almost like a similar to ROTC. They do it in Texas for police officers. If they can do something like that in New Orleans and get kids, thinking about the sheriff's office early, maybe before they even graduate, I think that'll help. And also letting kids know, man, not only they can be the sheriff, but then they can get maybe the post certification. They can get that extra money doing detail work. Yeah. They can get that state pay. These are the things the kids really got to know, not just the salary, but the other great things that can come with it, during their time, at the sheriff's office. So I think some of these things got to be, done to kind of get that recruitment. And even at second lines, man, it's got to meet the kids where they are, the wonderful things about being a sheriff. And I think that'll be awesome. And it'll boost that recruit.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Sean. I agree with you. Everything you said there. And one of the things we want to do is we have so many deputies that went to St. Aug or went to McChurch or went to Clark. We want them to come with me when we go out to talk and recruit or go on their own, right? And go to events at the schools and talk to the kids and recruit them. Because what you said is absolutely true. They can start right here with us, and before they're 18 and before they're 21, they can have a gun and a badge and a post license. So they got to put in a couple years with us and give us some service, but that's absolutely possible. Well said. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
All right, Sean. Let's talk about this because I wanted to ask you this question, and I meant to ask it earlier. With the state laws changing, you now have to house those that are, 17? And it looks like they're trying to do 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. But now you have to house 17-year-olds, and I'm trying to figure out how do you do that, also being under consent decree, which the jail has been under consent decree now for what, 10 years?
Since 2013, so this is the 12th.
So how do you house them and get them in a safe place as well?
First of all, it's gut-wrenching and heartbreaking to see mostly black children, and there is very tough to look at. But they're there for very serious things, most of them. Mm-hmm. So that's even more gut-wrenching. But the way we house them is very carefully. So we know that federal rules do not allow folks under 18 to see adults, so they have to have sight and sound separation. So they're on a particular pod, and we have to cover up the window so no adult prisoners can look in. And then when we move them at any given time, because they have to go to school by law, they have to go to school every day. So when we move them, we have to shut down those parts of the jail so they can't see adults when we're transporting them. So it puts a strain on our deputies, and it is it's fraught with peril. But I have deputies on the pod who care. Number one, understand children, know how to speak to them, and care about them.
And you also have a school.
That's right. The school board has Travis Hill School in there. It's a great school. And one of the things that happened when I first got into office, I found out our team was sometimes punishing kids if they talked back. Now, you know any teenagers who don't talk back?
No.
Okay, no.
Yeah, they all do.
Or don't want to do something.
Right.
But we were punishing them by not letting them go to school. First of all, it's a right. But second of all, how can black people tell other black children not to go to school? That's not what my parents were about. I keep a close tabs on the percentages that are able to go to school. We keep it up real high, 90s, 90% being able to go. The only reason they may not go is if they have to go to court or there's some type of disciplinary thing going on. So that's why we really support that, because we know, and this is what they tell us, I did not go to school when I was on the streets.
Wow.
So, and these kids aren't taking things, they're good at math and sciences. There's some real talent in here.
Yeah. I know I got to let you go because you got a 2:30 appointment too, but I want to tell you thank you for my association too. I make it known to everybody that I'm helping you do some work, and I appreciate being out there and seeing the people, how they accept you too. So I think what has been portrayed in some of the news media is totally a farce, and we're gonna make sure that I guess I could ask this question too. You running?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm running, and we've got a lot. Nobody's telling our story except you.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. If you're not here, a lot of these stories about what's really going on don't get out there. But I'm going to come tell my story to the people, and I think they're gonna like it.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you, G.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, your family, and all the folks over at OPSO as well. So, Merry
Same
Christmas.
to you, my friend.
All right. More coming up, y'all. News is next.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Israel conducted airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen, killing at least 9 people. The strikes were in retaliation for Houthi attacks on Israel, which increased after the October 7, 2023 Hamas attacks. A Chinese national pleaded guilty to operating a secret Chinese police station in Manhattan, New York, which was shut down by the FBI in 2022. U.S. Attorney Breon Peace says they tracked dissidents who spoke out against the Chinese government. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act won't be voted on this year as Congress nears its end. It must be reintroduced next session. Supporters say AM radio is vital for information and emergencies. NTSA reminds travelers about security rules. A man at San Antonio Airport in Texas was found with a cane, hiding a sword. Things like cookware and power tools are common but must be in checked luggage. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a huge congratulations to all of our educators, students, and families of New Orleans for their continuous academic growth. School performance scores have been released from the state. For the first time in many years, there are no failing schools in New Orleans Public Schools. As a district, our performance increased by 4 points. In addition, Orleans Parish now exceeds pre-COVID school performance score for all students by 6.2 points. When you see a teacher, school leader, or student, be sure to show them some love.
the people partner. Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Yeah, you want to say something now?
Man, I'm with the apple.
Oh, I said yes, indeed. We need to thank our sheriff, Susan Hudson, for coming and joining us and giving us a lot of insight and wishing everybody a happy holiday. So thank you, Sheriff, for what you do. But joining us in this part of the conversation, he is here.
Oh, man.
The $1 Million Pastor.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that to you. No, somebody gonna take that wrong. See, I told you he got $1 million. Where he get $1 million?
No,
from?
don't do that, man.
Pastor Everett, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man? Happy holidays.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been working
a lot, extremely.
You have been. I'm watching. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah?
watching. I stay back and I don't say a whole lot, but I'm watching. Man, I think that and I kind of said something to you before.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What, here?
No, on the side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I had said something to you before. And,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
gonna say,
caught me in my tracks, man.
I'm gonna say it to you again, because I just see growth with you, and you don't see that in a lot of. And I'm just being honest with our times that we're living in. We don't see a lot of growth in a lot of churches.
Yeah.
We've seen a deteriorating number of folks that are going to the church, but I see people that are excited.
Yeah.
About what you're bringing to the church, and maybe bringing to them. What's the difference? What is it? I need to know what's your secret.
Well, many people around the thank you again, man, for all that you do and your contribution to the narrative by which we, he who controls the language controls the narrative. But to your question, I just really went back to what it was meant to be, communal. There is no people around the country they call in like left and right, Man, what is your secret? I tell them all the time, there is no secret. The secret is my ministry approach is driven by the needs of people. I don't collaborate with no organization if it's not a blessing to people. I don't even entertain conversations about profit margins and all those type of things on the backs of the people paying.
Right.
I don't entertain organizations who are just trying to use the platform of church to extract some form of financial gain off of it. So everything that we do is centered around people. So you take the young people and you give them backpacks, but then boom, the teachers have a need, right?
So you got the kids with the backpacks, but the
teachers don't have.
nothing.
So everything we have done, so everybody like, oh man, that's a secret. There is no secret brainchild behind this.
It's just thinking out the box.
There is no box. There's never was a box.
But you say it ain't no box. But the other people is taking
right,
and they in the box,
right? But
and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, by the way, because I don't want nobody on here saying that we would criticize. The church.
So our emphasis is needs of people, man. So. Once a quarter, man, I start doing this vetting process amongst our team. And I say, what is it that the people need?
Right.
What is it that the people that we service? We do our demographics. We take all of the analytics and we say, okay, this is the amount of people we have that's unemployed. Then we look at this amount of people who are struggling with daycares and this amount of people who are struggling in marriages. And we just vet our congregation because we really want to meet the needs. There's always an imbalance in some churches between outreach and inreach.
Outreach
and inreach. Yeah. So majority of people, they raise money to do outreach, but they forget about the people who giving you the money for outreach.
What about those folks?
What about those folks? They sitting in those pews every single
right.
And you cannot just assume that they understand the efforts and the depths of what you're doing. And you cannot assume that they're okay. You see what I'm saying?
But we do.
We do.
That's where we are.
Everybody do that.
Right.
Fathers, husbands, CEOs, the people's close to them, they assume that they understand and they're okay.
But when you do that and you say, y'all can't just assume.
No, you can't just
that
assume.
everybody's okay. You can't assume how does your congregation, how do the folks that are volunteering, how do the folks that you're vetting, how those folks that are trying to put together the data?
Yeah.
What do they say? Okay, cool. Let's get in. Because some folks don't want you in their business.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's true, but that's a small percentage today.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's business is everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't get it at church, you gonna see it on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, y'all ain't been arguing, going back and forth on Twitter for 3 hours if nothing ain't going on,
and
right?
nobody knows.
Yeah, them subliminals are not subliminating. You understand? Like
it's just like anybody else that get on social media. Just because you don't see me saying something, don't mean I ain't watching.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
But you have been doing the work, and I want to kind of go into, just like I said, I've been watching too. You have now moved into a larger location.
We have.
Talk to me about Franklin Avenue.
Franklin Avenue, man, is an amazing to go from.
Now this is the original Franklin Avenue.
Franklin Avenue. Right. 2515 Franklin Avenue, and we're so excited to be there and to occupy that space and to be able to have enough space to do more ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was our ultimate goal is to say, how can we do more ministry, more feeding, different programs that we're about to launch. We're about to launch the first cafe for pregnant women in the country.
Cafe for pregnant women.
Yeah.
You got to explain that one. You can't just say that and then be like, I'm going to go, okay, let's move on.
So
what is that?
It is data driven to say that the chemical imbalances that we're seeing amongst our kids are detected in those 9 months that mother is carrying those babies. And a lot of it has to do with the parent is so focused on what not to drink, what not to eat, that the other focus is not on necessarily what to eat, right? And what they're starving themselves of. And so it is our plan to grow our own vegetables and start the farming process.
Oh wow!
Where we start feeding these parents, these women some healthy foods, and even afterwards for those who are impoverished, to give them some food to go home with. And we're talking about healthy meals. We ain't just talking about the meals with no season on it. We talk about like nice broccoli, you know what I mean? Like good stuff, right? And then the other part of that is the initiative with Oxnard and Xavier, and this is a whole bunch coming forth, man. But those are the type of things that I think it make more sense because we're communal, right? Church is communal; it's meeting the needs of people.
I just had this conversation, yesterday. Part of my partnership with, and part of this radio station's partnership with LCMC, and Dr. Flowers.
Yeah,
who is, a beautiful lady. She always has the needs of other people in her mind and how she can make that happen. And one of the things that she is a minister.
Yeah.
So what came out of her mouth yesterday was, I'm trying to have church that has a nursing program or needs something of that sort, so that we can collaborative and put things together for what's needed in the community. So I'm getting ready to throw your name in there. Right?
Yeah, and we started it too, man. Please throw our name in there because we did a sit-in with Oxnard and Xavier. There's a pilot program for
which they're doing all of their different. I know they're getting ready to do the nursing and all of that here.
Yep. And so we'll pilot the first community hospital in a few months.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because it's where we're located at is a medical desert.
Okay.
The needs of people.
And nothing over there.
Nothing over there. So no
nothing
urgent cares and all those type of things.
Nothing.
So we'll become that center for them.
They can barely drive down the street.
Correct. So
without losing the undercarriage of your car. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that again? Yes, I did.
So we'll be able to provide those immediate assistance to not only those in the community, but those who attend the church. So,
good. And,
we
and
have
I'm
some
thinking
amazing
too
doctors.
that if you're doing a food, like what type of healthy foods do you need? Because I'm gonna make a telephone call and talk to some folks to see if they can, bring the 18-wheel out there.
Oh yeah, man, that's vitally important to make sure that we have all the supplies we need for those individuals too.
Because if some of the food banks can come out there, whether it's right before, because look, I gotta tell you, I ain't never seen somebody so proud to walk across the street.
Yeah.
When they coming over there for church on Sunday morning, because I have to pass by there every Sunday morning, because I'm headed to First Pilgrims. I do all of that stuff, and I'm coming down there. They got the deputy standing out there holding the hand up. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. They got the hand holding up, boy. They be stepping across the street. It's a flowing motion. I said, look at these proud women coming across the street.
Hey, man, they got men too, man.
No, they don't. I said, look at him come across the street.
Man, y'all gave him his medicine or what? Come on,
they
Jazz,
come across
man.
they proud, boy, coming across the street, boy. I said, yes, indeed. That's all right. But when I say they proud, I'm pulling your tail. But when I say they proud to come across the street, I ain't joking.
Yeah, no, they be stepping, man.
They
come,
stepping.
they be
ready
happy.
to come.
The morale
the
morale is there. Yeah. The morale is definitely there. We have a beautiful body group of people who's really serious about church, and this the congregation is a unique blend, man.
Right.
It's no compromise. They don't want me to compromise.
No.
That's one of the things I wanted to bring on when you asked me about how I'm doing it. They actually want truth.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll hear them shout more about the sin part and conviction part than they do shout about the blessing part.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they want truth. It's not just something.
But what I like about you, man, I got to tell you, because, I was there for Easter.
Yeah.
You forgot that, huh?
No, I didn't, man. I remember. I watched it. I look at the video every time, man. You right there.
I was sitting right there on the track. Right there on the track. And I was like, that's a young man.
Yeah.
You're a young dude. You're a young man. This is not the old pastors. And then I turned around and looked in the stands, and I was like, good Lord, where are all these young folks?
Yeah, that's why I was
coming. And they were families.
Yeah. Yeah, they were groups.
It was men. It was women. It was a husband. It was the wife and the kids.
Yep.
And I was like, where did they come from?
Yeah.
And how did you get them out?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. Likened until New Year's Eve, right? And we'll talk about that. To see the message changed.
Mm-hmm.
So initially our message was, all right, cool, 5,000 eggs, 90,000 pounds of fresh produce and stuff like that. The message changed because we discovered that wasn't really the reason it was coming.
That was not.
That you asked majority of them, they're like, no, we just want to come to church. You rarely heard, and we had people at the front saying, hey, what brought you here today? Right? No, it wasn't.
They were getting the data for you.
Yeah, it wasn't, we came to get a bag of groceries.
No, we just wanted to come to church.
We just wanted to come to church. And so the groceries was extra.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we was able to get rid of that. That was extra, but as it relates to their purpose of being there, and we were stressing that. We came here and just stressed faith, family, and fellowship.
Right.
Just to get people back to how I grew up in New Orleans, man. We had fun around Easter time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody got together. We looked for those eggs, see if we can get some eggs with some money. And, we dressed up in our seersucker suits. And, you know what I mean?
We not the seersucker suit. You might be young, but you old school.
We did, man. We had the seersucker suits on.
As a pastor, now I'm not talking to Jonathan Everett, who is my friend. I'm talking to Jonathan Everett, Pastor Jonathan Everett.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to analyze the church, where we are today.
I know this is about to be tough right now. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a stab at it. I heard the setup. I heard the setup when you pause in between.
Yeah. Okay. At least you know, man. But if you had to analyze the church today and figure out what are those things that maybe, and I'm not going to tell nobody how to do their ministry.
Sure.
That maybe needed to be even taken into, I'm not going to say corrected, because I think that everybody has their own way of doing church.
Yeah.
But if you had to look at it and say, here's what we're missing. This is why we're seeing a decrease in the number of people that are coming to the church. Maybe even saying, oh, you know what, my connection to God is, I watch it on the internet every single day. Is that a plus or a minus for you?
Let me see if I can answer this question. That's a multi-layered question, too, by the way. Let me see if I can answer this.
I know you can answer
it. Not that I think I know, just doing study on church pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, during pandemic. The church lacked the adaptability quotient that all of us must have, right? Culture change every 4 years.
Okay.
church culture change every 10 years.
Mm.
We're so behind on just the normality of things, just the natural thing. You into tech, the amount of churches, almost I can put my head on a chopping block, 90-something% of churches who had no access to live streaming. So the first place they went was freeconferencecall.com,
right?
Because they had no access to the Facebook, the Instagram, and all these. They just coming into contact with your different services, and so the adaptability has always been our kryptonite to adapt to not just church doing church, but to adapt to how we really service the people outside of the four walls without compromise. How do we present a more healthy, holistic perspective, and why we cannot diversify our approach to different people outside of the four walls and our collaborative efforts? And how do we bring people?
Well, I bet you that was a heck of a meeting when you're sitting there explaining that to them, and they looking at you like, "What you say?"
Yeah, what you say? Like because it's not something according to their palates, because it's the old adage principle. If I build it, they'll come.
Right.
Not necessarily in this generation, because
it's
you might have,
generational.
it's generational too. And then you have a generation of people who say, "Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth.
Yes,
I'm smarter now.
Yes.
I went to school.
Yep.
I know what the Bible didn't say, and I know what the Bible did say." You have people right now going to seminary, huh? I'm here now. I'm here now.
I'm about to put them on people and say, "Hold on, I'm putting them on speaker."
I'm here now, man. You have people that's going to seminary just to go to seminary. They're not even going to seminary to be a preacher or nothing. They just want
to be called doctor.
Yeah, they want that. So our adaptability has always been in question, right? How do we adapt to it? How do we approach it? Are we blurring the lines? We're a part of the world. How we come outside of the world? It's like all of those different things, right? And I think going forward, our challenge is going to be how do we meander through this dichotomy of social media, virtual space, and in person, and don't get offended because people not coming to your church. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth, man. Hey, any given Sunday, I can have triple amount of people online.
Yes.
I have in person
in sanctuary, right?
You get what I'm saying? And I can't be up there like, yeah, y'all better come here, y'all going to hell. They ain't going to hell because they got the same. Then you say, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and then you got folks, you don't even realize that you may have a certain amount of folks that don't even live in the city.
Oh, who? Listen, man.
They just love what you do.
Man, listen, the amount of support that I receive online is absolutely insane. To me, I be sitting there saying, ain't nowhere in the world these people like me that much, right? Like, if I start talking that talk, he be like, "Oh yeah, man, he from a project kid.
There you go.
He don't got no business.
Look at him. You can take him out the project,
but you can't take it out of here.
And
there's no possible. But the amount of people around the country that really support our efforts and support what it is that we're doing in the city of New Orleans, and to hear from them and say, "Man, you're doing a good job. We talking about you out here in Detroit. We talking about you in DC. We see you." You know what I mean?
Are you seeing the increase of people calling to say, "Hey, I want you to come up here and speak at my church"?
I get it all the time, but I don't do a lot of speaking engagements because sometimes that's more of a distraction than anything.
Nah,
to me it is.
We need to have that conversation.
No, let me tell you this. To me, it is because if I'm worn down for traveling around the country, I don't have enough strength for my own people.
But I ain't saying doing it all.
No,
the time.
let me say this.
I
ain't saying all of it. No, I go out every now and then, but
I ain't trying to tell you what to do neither.
I don't want to be the Superman flying around the country. That's not my stilo. And I'm sorry for using that word, Jazz. That ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm talking about?
He from the hood too, so he understands.
I know it popping. So it's like I pace myself. Yeah. A lot of people ask me that, man, you'll come up here and pray like, "Hey man, this is just not that time for me." I really love my people. I love to stay home, give them the best of my energy, give them the best of my time. If I've done an itinerant preacher, that's what they call itinerant preacher.
Right.
You just traveling to different cities, different states. Man, by the time you get home, you don't have enough energy for your own people.
Right.
And then I have a son that's 13. I love my son.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't saving the world and losing him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I balance all of those things. Then I love my mother. I take care of my mother, man. So like all of those things I take in consideration. That's not more important to me.
Okay.
putting me on the flyer.
I ain't arguing with you on
Gone,
that.
but some of them I do. I do.
But some of the reason why I asked you that question was for a reason though, and that is, I guess more so when I think about you, because look, I see all of the packets that are put together. I see all the promos that are put together. I see all of your stuff, and I'd be so proud.
Yeah.
That I was like, man, I just sat beside him, man. We were talking about da 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 da. I even, just to show you that I'm paying attention, I even saw the promo where you stand there holding the keys. Am I lying?
Yeah, you did. I tried to do that Kendrick Lamar. I think it was an epic fail though.
I know. I was like, boy.
I tried to hit the Kendrick, but I don't know if I did it right. I really wanted the Crip walk up there, whoever walked, but I ain't want. You know what I'm saying?
He not like us. He not like us. That's what I was waiting for.
I was trying, but it didn't work. And then I ain't want to mess up the dance either.
No, don't do the Crip walk. No, sir. Some would not understand. But what's new?
Man, we have listen, I'm here to tell you about New Year's Eve. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
You're gonna love this. New Year's Eve. Let me frame it out for you. You're gonna love this.
All
Sheriff just left. She a part of it. New Year's Eve day. I'm once again, like we did for Resurrection.
You trying to tell me you was sitting out there knowing that she gonna be a part of it and you didn't come in here?
Man, I was on the phone. Jazz walked past. Come on, man. Let me just finish. Let me get this out. All right, cool. Listen. New Year's Eve day. Look, peep it out. New Year's Eve day. I'm trying to resurrect to the African American community that we lost the meaning of these things. Resurrection was all about faith, family, fellowship. We pushed that.
Right.
New Year's Eve is about liberation.
Right.
African American liberation. It's about families getting together. The auction block used to be open on New Year's.
Right.
The day for New Year's. Anybody can be sold.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Eyed Peas and all those things came for luck, right? It is family, the family dynamic, right? We sometimes in church have over spiritualized that, and we try to make people stay in church all night long. I grew up in a project where at 11:59, I was on my knees with my mama, right? Now our prayers wasn't long, so we lasted to 12:01, but at 11:59. We was on our knees.
To 12:01.
To 12:01, maybe 12:02, we start crying.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But for New Year's Eve this year, we have an entire day. So starting at morning at 11 a.m., we have a celebrity basketball game. You have the DA, Jason Williams, as a coach, John Fuller as another coach. Y'all don't talk about that entire league.
Oh, that's going to be good.
So you're going to have, I ain't going to say that. So you have World Envision.
I had to swallow that one. That one.
So you have Leonard Fournette. You have, it's just Royce Duplessis. Everybody going to be playing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Terrence, World Envision. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them that's going to be there 11. And then 1 p.m. is where the Prison Reform Conference starts, where you have, moderated by Darryl Forges, it's going to be the sheriff, the DA, and several other people, First 72, and all of them talking about what that is, what that look like for recidivism. How do we really shock their socioeconomic status, wellness? How we reconnect them back to their families. Then they have breakout sessions. But then that evening, you ready for this?
Uh-oh, here you go.
This is it. We at Xavier. We right here on this campus at the Convocation Center.
Okay. At the Convocation Center.
At the Convocation Center, we have 100 couples that's renewing their vows that evening.
100 couples.
So we're gonna do a ceremony at 6:45 to 7:15. 100 couples around the altar renewing their vows, and then we're giving away 1,000 pair of tennis shoes that night. And then we're giving away 100,000 pounds of groceries and fresh produce.
Wait a minute, I need you to go back for a minute.
What?
How many tennis shoes?
1,000, man.
How your security?
Huh?
How your security?
I got all kind of ages.
All right.
They got all kind of ages in back up. We got top flight security. We put flashlight cops out there. Just let us know they coming. But it's 1,000 pair of tennis shoes. Right now we have probably 600 to 800 people registered, man.
Gee.
I'm not sure what they're gonna fit.
How long you been working on this?
Oh man, I work at least 4 or 5 months in advance.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this seems like an effort that you put in.
No. We've
this
been
ain't
working
something
on,
that you thought about last
night.
No.
I'm working on Easter now.
That's what I love about you, because you have it together when it's supposed to be together.
Yeah, we're working on Easter right now, man.
Yeah.
And around Easter time, we're gonna have Kirk Franklin Gorilla down here, man. I'll tell y'all more about that later. Maybe Jazz.
You're gonna have Glorilla
and Kirk Franklin. Listen to that combination. I don't supposed to be saying that, but I'm gonna give it to you. It's coming for Easter.
Oh Lord.
Man, listen, I believe in
I believe in what's going to bring them out.
Yeah.
It's what you use to bring them out, and then they get the message that you're going to deliver. So that's what I did when I did Teen Summit.
Yeah.
So when I did Teen Summit, I got criticized. I got criticized by pastors, churches, and everybody else. But I brought what those kids listen to.
Yeah.
I can't stop them from listening to it because they got it. They can get it any way they want to now, on their phone, at home, on the internet, wherever they go.
Man,
They
you
gonna
can't
get
stop
it,
what's going on right now, man.
So I'm gonna bring them out to see what it is they won't see.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, when they get out there to see that, what they got is a message that's going to be delivered.
Facts.
So that's wonderful. I'm gonna be your biggest cheerleader again. I ain't putting on the pom pom thing.
You don't got to put on the pom pom thing.
But I'm just telling you that's you doing the right thing.
We trying.
You're doing. No, don't try it. No, you ain't trying. You're doing the right thing because you get them out.
Yeah, they've been coming, man. I really love my city. Let me say this, and I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I really love this city.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what some preachers don't say, that a person like me in this position, as many pastors call to go preach in those different places, there are many vacant churches that call.
Ooh.
See, this is what people don't say. As many pastors that call say, "Hey man, come preach in Detroit," blah blah blah. Just imagine how many vacant churches around the country right now who's watching what we're doing in New Orleans, and they call and saying, "Hey, Pastor Everett, man, our church vacant. Would you consider such and such?" Man, I get at least about 20 of them a year.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? And I shut all that down because I feel my assignment is for my city, and I really want the world to know that New Orleans do have a spiritual side to it.
So let me ask you this, and I want you to. This is you repping you for a minute.
Me repping me?
Yeah.
Man, I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
All right.
Well, let me rephrase that then. Not you repping you, but thinking about who you are. You think you're different? Do you think you're a different type of
know
pastor?
I've been different since I was in school.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that.
While they were wearing G-Nikes, I went back to the soldiers. I was wearing soldiers in my senior year. They were wearing G-Nikes. I was a trendsetter. I got the trendsetter award for my senior year.
We still can't get it out you, huh?
I was wearing Chucks.
Hold on, you got a few more minutes?
Yeah, man.
Hold on, more coming up, y'all. We gotta take a break.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Movie Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Metropolitan Human Services District wants to remind you that treatment is effective and everyone can recover. If you are looking for a recovery program and you live in the Orleans, St. Bernard, or Plaquemines Parish, visit mhsdla.org or call 504-568-3130. Recovery is possible, and MHSD is here to help. Metropolitan Human Services District, where we change lives.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's Elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
Parents, are you looking for a school where your child can excel? Look no further than Inspire NOLA Schools, home of the highest performing open enrollment schools in New Orleans. At Inspire NOLA, we believe in nurturing every student's potential, providing an excellent education, and supporting their journey to success. Enroll today for the 2025-2026 school year. Visit enrollnolaps.com to get started and learn more about our schools and programs at inspirenolaschools.org. Join the Inspire NOLA family, where excellence is our standard.
My name is Caleb Henry.
And I'm Eli Henry.
On behalf of the Henry family and Equity Media, we want to wish everyone a happy holiday.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
How y'all All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. A little boost in the studio. I ain't say it with you. I ain't say it with you. I might have been talking about myself. See that? Throw a rock. Who holler first?
I started saying the song. I-N-D.
He did it. He did it at Bayou Classic.
Oh,
So
yeah?
that was enough. That was enough. Join us in the conversation if you just tuning in. We've got Pastor Jonathan Everett in the building. Rock of Ages is like taking off. And you have been spearheading several things that I don't even know if churches realize. You know, these are the things that you're like. Let me think about how can I do this, and you do it.
Yeah. Well, I believe, like, man, ultimately, if God listen, I live by with a philosophy: if God tell me yes, no is the wrong answer. I don't let nobody tell me no. You gotta die. I gotta die for you to tell me no. I'm coming after everything, and I mean that by faith. So, but a lot of what we do is, like I said previously in our conversation, if it do not bless people, I don't even touch it.
Right.
If it don't have nothing, if it don't have,
I gotta
nothing,
tell you, I was there for Easter, and
Yeah.
I was amazed because first of all I was saying to myself, Pastor Everett gonna do Tad Gormley Stadium, and I turned around because I was with the VIPs, thank you, and I was on the track right in front of the stage.
Yeah.
But when I turned around and looked, because one of your praise and worship was off the chain, and whoever the lead singer was, he was not going to stay on that stage. He took that microphone and got in the stands with the people. So it made me turn around and look for him. And I turned around and I was like, geez, look at the number of people that's out here.
Yeah.
And it was family.
And that was the beginning of service.
Right.
Toward the end of service, you still had people coming to church, and we was leaving.
Oh, wow.
And you seen how the LED walls were.
Right.
If we'd have stayed in service another hour, we'd have got outside of the viewpoint of those LED walls. That's how many people was out there.
And you had drones flying. You had the cameramen out there, the LED walls.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I just loved the entire time was the fact that when I looked up, I didn't just see women.
Yeah.
I saw
grown men out there.
Like
grown men.
And their children.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay.
Dressed
we
up
got
like we used to dress up.
Right.
Barrettes in their head.
Families.
Seersucker suits on. You know what I mean? Like it was that family dynamic that we was hoping for. Rock of Ages is an amazing church, man.
So let's talk about Rock of Ages for a minute. From where it has gone.
Yeah.
From then to now.
Yeah.
And what do you expect? The growth.
Yeah.
What are you looking for for growth?
Man, I don't think people really know the story of Rock of Ages.
Tell it.
11 years ago, I've been passionate 11 years. When I first got the Rock of Ages, I just got back from Maryland. I was fresh in the city, back in the city. That church only had 3 members and $78,000 in a deficit. Now, when I say 3 members, I'm not talking about 3 different families.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about one family. It was just 3 of them. $78,000 in a deficit. Right there, 1921 North Tonty Street in the heart of the 7th Ward. And, man, I just went to work. And a lot of stuff a part of the building. It wasn't even really conducive to have a lot of people in the building because we didn't have the ACs right and such and such and such. And so I just pulled my sleeve up. I put a lot of my money in it. I was working, and I was working at the church, cleaning the bathrooms. I cleaned the bathroom. I cleaned up the church every Wednesday before Bible study.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? I go cut the grass. I was back. I probably did more damage to our AC units I was changing out fuse, man. I was in the attic, switching this, changing bulbs, electrical wires, and so a lot of in the beginning stages of our church, that's what it was, and we went through that whole little thing, man. And then it was like right after the pandemic, man. It's like the Lord turned the faucet on. Like we were seeing people just coming, man. Listen, we'll have service in that same building at 9:15. People will start getting at 7 o'clock in the morning.
So they can get a good seat.
I ain't even turned over yet to wake up.
Right.
And they was outside because they needed to get not a good seat, just a seat.
A seat.
Because you had the sanctuary and you had the back. And I've always had this philosophy, and this is no hit on no other pastor. And hey, person getting their feelings and be offended, that's on them. I don't got time for all that.
I got you.
But I never wanted to do multiple services because I feel like it divides the people. Right? I want those same people to have an opportunity to meet the same people they come to church with. You got people go to 9 o'clock service, don't know the people at 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock, don't know the people at 1 o'clock. They go to the same church, know the same pastor, but they don't know each other. There's a book called Tribe that talks about the pastor having the vision, but then it talks about the people being connected to the pastor who have the vision. He said, but one of the dangerous cancer of growing a church is not the people connected to the pastor and the vision. It's the people connected to the people.
So the people connected to the people got to know the people. Though.
They got to know them.
Right.
But if they're never in that same place, yeah. So I always told our staff and our board, man, no, it's not multiple services. Y'all ain't gonna kill me. I like to eat my crab cakes.
How did crab cakes get in this conversation, bro?
I'm about to tell you why I ain't doing multiple services. 11:35 to 12 o'clock on Sundays.
You eating?
I'm picking up my crab cakes, cauliflower and broccoli. I'm at home. Y'all ain't gonna kill me cause you went out last night and you coming at 11. Now my whole body hurt.
Wait.
I'm dead at 50. Oh no, man, we ain't doing that. We all gonna celebrate together. I'll go get my crab cake. You go do what you do.
Oh boy, that was I'm gonna remember that. Right? You know I ain't gonna never forget. I'm gonna start calling you and saying how you crab cake.
Oh no, they nice. I know when they fry too hard. I call them back. Hey, bro, you seared that a little bit too much, big brother. Hey, lay off the searing next time.
So I'm gonna start calling you and say, bro, let's go to Houston's.
You know
they got
not
crab
Houston.
cakes.
No, they brought it back. I'm talking about Boulevard.
No. Oh yeah, them two.
Yeah,
Same. They're the same.
Yeah, I know. But listen, so that's where we were. That's where we are now. What I see is a group of hungry people who saying, "Man, let's try to do it right." That's the key. That's the key. The key. My appeal has been to them. We're not going to be a contemporary church, nor traditional church. We're going to be a church who's just trying to do church right.
Right. I'm telling you, when I roll down Franklin Avenue, the minute I go over that overpass, and I'm coming down, I look over to my left. And I see, first of all, your security is wonderful because that's the sheriff's deputies.
Yeah.
And they out there early. They got the lights going and they out there early. Secondly,
they scared me one Sunday.
Secondly, the second thing that I see
turn back around.
I see them walking across the street. And it's one of those walks to when they're like, "Come on, girl,
let's go,
let's go get this."
Dragging their babies and everything.
Here's a question for you. Though.
Yeah.
And this is a serious question, but it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, me doing church television. And going to different churches. One of the things I do is take the camera after I shoot the pastor doing a message.
Yeah.
I take the camera and go stand in the foyer with a microphone and stand there and watch people come out, grab them a couple times and be like, "What did you get out of today's message?"
Yeah.
And they start talking about the pastor.
Yeah.
Oh, my pastor did that. What you get for the message though?
Yeah.
So I figured out a long time ago that there are several folks that's going to church just for the show.
Yeah.
And that disturbed me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I can do about it because I'm trying to figure out what are people getting from church and how do you make sure that they get that message?
Well, we deflect. We deflect off the personality-driven piece, and everything is communal once again.
Mm-hmm.
And so people feel like they're a part of, they belong, they can build here. So it's not just the pastor, right? And my personality, I don't believe it's that big. Man, don't do that too. So, in entrepreneurship, your personality can kill your product.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I knew you was gonna let it. I knew I was gonna slide that in and make you old. So know, a lot.
So is that a level of humbleness?
Humility, absolutely. It's to any entrepreneur that's listening to me right now. It's a slight chance that your personality is killing your product if you constantly see a decrease because of a bad experience or a bad encounter. That's across the board, right? That's with anything, right? One of the most important things is when you have a good product, you don't even know who owns it.
Yep. You are absolutely right. When you got a good product.
When you have a good product, nobody know who's the owner.
And that part just reminds me a lot about people that are multimillionaires, billionaires. People that don't have money. We want to dress wearing the latest, the Gucci's.
Sure.
We want all the latest designer wear. We want to drive the $100,000 car. We want to drive those. But those folks that got that money, that have products that are multimillionaire, billionaires, they don't dress.
Well, they schedule different. Now, let me say this now. I'm gonna be in all fairness. I think everybody should like nice things. Everybody should wear nice things. I get it, right? That's prosperity. But when you hit a certain plateau, you don't hang with certain people and your schedule change.
Do you change who you are with? Because I just heard you say you don't hang with certain people.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, to me, don't have that same push, vision, and actually can end up being Debbie Downers.
That dude was like, man, you changed. I was like, I'm surprised you didn't. What you waiting on?
What you waiting on? What you waiting on? I've been waiting for you.
All these resources out there. Right. And you mean to tell me nothing about you have changed in 10 years?
You still the same guy.
You still the same guy 10 years ago?
Right. Those folks
we about to reminisce on sitting on the porch talking about you used to steal Burger King slushes and bring Burger King burgers home from work.
And wait a minute, is that a Burger King rapper?
Yeah, I'm like, hey man, what you still do with the Burger King work jacket on? You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised you didn't.
Changed.
People supposed to. Life is an evolution.
But
every
why
person.
They stagnant? Why they stagnant?
Some people, and I said this this morning on our prayer line or whenever I said, I can't remember where I be at sometime. Some people have, because they have surpassed the expectations of certain people in their life, they feel as though they have plateaued. So if I get the degree, I go to college, that's it for me. They settled. They done. They done with living at 25, 26.
I went with, and I tell the story all the time. I went with, this was a while ago. I went to a school, and the guest speaker that day was Newell Norman. And he was the sheriff at the time.
Yeah.
And he asked a group of young men and young women to think about this for a minute. And he asked them a show of hands. If I could get you a job that would pay you or start you off with $50,000 a year, and you'd be able to have a family, retire, be able to have a pension, Social Security, and all those different things when you retired, and you could just sit on your porch at the end of the day and just collect your checks and support your family. How many of you would want to do that? And I was expecting the whole class, and wasn't. Then he said, if I could get you a rap contract for a record deal,
throw me in now.
You had all the latest clothing, all the latest toys, girls, all of that, but you'd be dead by the time you were 25. How many of you would do that? Would you believe that more than half of the class raised their hand?
Wow.
Because they were like, I don't have nothing else for.
I don't have nothing to live for. Let me tell you this too, G. I've discovered this just in counseling. This is about to be a shocker. Might not be a shocker to you because you be around high-profile people. I feel VIP because I'm in the studio right now. I witness there are more people that have the inability to move forward, not because of their past failures, as much as the inability to move forward, not just because of their past failures, as much as their past successes.
Okay,
they hung up on past success.
So
I did this in high school. I played ball in high school.
I remember when.
Yeah. That's all they talk about. They don't have anything else to live for.
What have you done
lately?
In the last 10, 15 years.
What have you done lately? They're not hungry, man. And we're starting to see that now. That's what I see in our church.
But
I see a lot of hungry people. I'm not sure, man. I think that's a system.
That's a part of the counseling
systemic.
part. Ain't that part of the
Yeah,
counseling?
well, some of them isolated, man. So, I think it's a lot of it's systematic, and to our point, a lot of them don't see it because exposure is the currency of today, right? A lot of them don't see it. Nobody else, man. I remember guys running for DA or something like that, Attorney General or something like that. He outside the city, and me and him sat face to face, and it was the Lord. It wasn't me. To be honest with you. The Lord asked me why he asked me to ask him why he settled. Man, that man started crying. I mean, an older gentleman. And he said, man, nobody never asked me that. I said, man, you ain't empowering no young men right now. You're not trying to help them up. You just.
Well, I can have a political conversation with you about that one. Because you know what drives me?
Yeah.
Is the fact that I look up to a lot of political folks.
Sure.
Older political folks. More so older than me.
Yeah.
I would say it that way. Or in my genre of age. And my question has always been, and still is to some, well, who is that person you reached back?
Yeah.
And brought them with you?
Yeah. And don't tell nobody where you found them.
Right. And then help them because you ain't going to live forever.
No, man.
And you ain't going to be doing this forever. But at least I'll be able to walk away and see my legacy.
Man, let me tell you this. I'm going to say his name. He's a great guy. Judge Calvin Johnson.
Yep. I saw him last week.
I hang with all those. I hang around older guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We sitting there drinking coffee. Wisdom. We sitting there drinking coffee. He looks at me. He said, Pastor. I said, yes, sir. He said, you know why I'm going to help you? I said, why? He said, because your decisions today determine the quality of my living 10 years from now.
And you know what? He said the same thing. He said that same thing. He came to a Xavier broadcast we did with young folks because the name of the broadcast we did was the first one we did over at Xavier's UC on the 3rd floor, and it was called "Why Young People Don't Vote." I didn't know he was coming.
Yeah,
he came and he sat in the corner
like
I won't go see him, and I got on the microphone. I said, I just want to thank Judge Calvin Johnson for being here. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the lady's getting ready to walk up to you with the microphone. And he said the same thing. I said, what you doing here, Judge?
He determined.
He said, I just wanted to come see these young folks and who's going to be leading in the next couple of years because what the decisions that they make in the future is going to be determining my quality of life.
Yes, sir.
In the future.
Yeah.
And I thought that was powerful.
Listen, that'll sell, preach.
Yeah.
Any given day of the week.
Yeah. I don't think we're not
that's
looking
that's
at
an investment into your future.
Right. What are we doing to make sure that the next person that runs for office ain't just telling me where to go to pull a lever for somebody that don't have a clue, but gonna end up doing whatever somebody else told them to do?
Yeah.
Because that's where we are now.
Or whether we get educated so we will not vote for a person who will spend all of the resources and opportunities to repair the past and don't prepare us for the future.
Right.
Because that's what a lot of people do, right? All that time and energy, they go and try to repair that past.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we need a future.
There you go. All right. So I done talked to you about an hour now about all this different stuff.
Yeah, we done talked about it every day,
on your
man.
mind. But tell me what you got going for the holiday, for Christmas, for New Year's, all of that.
Man, we have
service.
Oh yeah, we having service for Christmas. 1 hour service, 10 a.m. I don't know if I'm gonna have
On
crab
Christmas
cakes.
Day?
Yeah, on Christmas Day. I don't know if they're gonna have crab cakes, but it's 1 hour service.
How you
Christmas
gonna talk
Day.
about crab cakes and then gonna tell everybody you're not gonna have crab cakes for Christmas?
I'm not
Day?
sure if they're gonna have crab cakes on Christmas.
You said they.
Yeah, Boulevard. But at 10 a.m. we're gonna have service at Rock of Ages, 2515 Franklin Avenue at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And then New Year's Eve, the entire day is ours, man. 11 a.m. at 2515 Franklin Avenue is our celebrity basketball game and our prison reform panel and classes. Resources, of course, going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Food trucks going to be there. Several things are going to be there to really get people back into what they need to be. The expungements, people going to be there for expungements and all those type of things. Housing, jobs, everything that a person need to be acclimated into society.
So you got everybody that you need on these working all this different stuff.
Yeah, well, you got, I always got.
Because we got resources for you.
I thought you were going to say we got Rick Ross. I didn't know what you.
No, I got Rick Ross. Right? I got Rick Ross. I knew you go to that. I don't have Rick Ross.
And then that evening, 100 couples renewing their vows, 1,000
That's
pair
gonna
of
be
tennis
beautiful.
shoes, 100,000 pounds of
Are you doing the Are you reciting the vows?
Yes, indeed.
I know that's gonna be beautiful.
Someone to care.
Yes, indeed. That's it. Come back and see me, bro.
Anytime, man.
And I'm telling you, this is an open mic for you.
Anytime.
And as a matter of fact, when they come and say, who wanna come? Who? He ain't got ass. He ain't got ass.
Oh man, I feel honored, man. And you got Jazz back there?
Yeah, every once in a while we let him sit back there.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
every once in a
man.
while.
That's my guy.
Rock of Ages is doing some mighty good things, and I'm proud of you for doing them. Keep doing them, because I know that at one point in time in life, I'm gonna be able to say, I know you.
In the VIP section.
Excuse me, Pat.
Hey, you gonna be able to say I made sure he succeeded because he determined the quality of my life.
Turn around, and look at me, and go like, right. Sure you did.
No, man, thank you, man. Happy holidays.
Anytime, man. Happy holidays to you, Pastor. Thank you, man. Pastor Jonathan Everett, y'all. More coming up in a minute. We got to take a break.
Thank you.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt everyday Americans all across this country. House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown or worse.
That was Speaker Hakeem Jeffries slamming Republicans and warning of the harm that may be about to hit Americans hard. The reason? President-elect Donald Trump rejected a bipartisan plan to prevent a looming government shutdown. With federal funding set to run out just days before Christmas, Trump's last-minute demands include tying routine government funding to a contentious debt ceiling hike, forcing Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans back to the drawing board. As the deadline nears, the stalemate underscores the challenges of Republican leadership and the growing influence of Trump's inner circle. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Borrowing a line from Blazing Saddles, one of the funniest movies I have ever seen, what in the wide world of sports is going on with the Orleans Parish school system? News comes that the Dolores Taylor Arthur Charter School for Boys is closing its doors this month in the middle of the school year. That means 19 seniors have to find a new school or they won't graduate. Now, the school is suffering and shutting down due to financial constraints, we're told. The school cannot pay faculty and staff. The students feel betrayed. The parents are angry and bewildered. One parent told me that some students are talking about dropping out. How did this fiasco happen? One education expert told me it all boiled down to the population demographics. There aren't enough students for the school to function financially. The numbers at Dolores Taylor Arthur Charter School are a glaring example of that. Get this, there are only 98 students enrolled at the whole school. Low enrollment numbers have become increasingly challenging for other schools in Orleans Parish. There has been a 20% decline in the number of students since 2014. Furthermore, the overall population in Orleans Parish, according to census data, the population now is 25% lower than it was pre-Katrina. Add to that a 20% decline in the birth rate and out-migration. Taking those statistics into account, opening additional charter schools stand a high risk of failure. A former school board member told me that given what we know about the low enrollment demographics, Dolores Taylor Arthur Charter School and several other schools should not have been allowed to open in the first place. But get this, ironically, it was the Orleans Parish School Administration that granted the charter, allowing the schools to open in the first place. Talk about catch-22. As for the 19 seniors at Dolores Taylor Arthur School, there was a meeting with all charter leaders, and it's expected that at least one school will step up and offer to accept all students. Surely the Orleans Parish School Board wouldn't hang these kids out to dry, would they? That would be totally unconscionable. Let them know we're watching. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Hey, this is Dave Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Delgado Community College offers programs in business, technology, health sciences, and the arts, with over 100 career-focused degrees and certificates that are affordable, flexible, and transferable. We can give you the knowledge and skills to succeed. Delgado is a great fit if you're starting your post-high school education, or we can help you advance or change your career. Take a step toward being unstoppable at Delgado Community College. Visit dcc.edu to learn more today.
Wherever we go, we never forget where we came from. The river parishes tell a story unlike any other. Join Rise St. James for Home for the Holidays, a celebration of our shared heritage, including the historic Orange Grove and Buena Vista plantations. Hear stories of resilience, connect with descendants, scholars, and community members. Preserve our legacy, honor our ancestors, build a sustainable future. Join the conversation at risestjames.org/holidays. Rise St. James. Together, we rise.
This is wellness advocate and host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind, Pastor David Patan. Every week, I'm educating you on how to be healthier by making simple changes to your diet. So join me every Saturday at 1 p.m. and let's get better together, only on WBOK 1230. What New Orleans is talking about.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
My name is Darius Henderson.
My name is Cornelius Frazier Jr.
And on behalf of Echo Media, we would like to wish everyone a happy holiday.
Have you heard the secret of what New Orleans is talking about? I promise everything will be okay if you're listening here on the airwaves. It's that WBOK 1230 AM.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the reality check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A Georgia court has removed Black Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis from Trump's 2020 election interference case, citing her ties to a special prosecutor. The decision could delay the trial. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's due back in court on Friday for a status hearing, is seeking a pause on his corruption case until President-elect Trump is inaugurated on January 20th. Luigi Mangione is in New York. Today, federal authorities charged Mangione with murder in addition to the New York State murder counts, a move Black Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg says is common. The federal charges make Mangione eligible for the death penalty. And Black civil rights leader Bishop William Barber plans to announce a federal lawsuit against AMC Theaters after being removed from a Greenfield theater last December for using a personal chair due to mobility issues. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a huge congratulations to all of our educators, students, and families of New Orleans for their continuous academic growth. School performance scores have been released from the state. For the first time in many years, there are no failing schools in New Orleans Public Schools. As a district, our performance increased by 4 points. In addition, Orleans Parish now exceeds pre-COVID school performance score for all students by 6.2 points. When you see a teacher, school leader, or student, be sure to show them some love.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Man, what a day, boy. I'm just full of company. We just full of company today. I love it. I love it when we got a whole bunch of company coming up. I want to thank the Sheriff, Susan Hudson, for joining us for our 1 o'clock hour. And, of course, Pastor Jonathan Everett from Rock of Ages, who is doing some big things, for joining us in the 2 o'clock hour. Yes, indeed. Rock of Ages is taking off, y'all. I don't know if y'all got a chance to hear this young man preach, but if you need some church in your life, which I think everybody does, you should check him out. I don't care if you go in person or check him out on social media on Sunday morning. You should hear him. And his people love him to death. They love him to death. So make sure you check out Rock of Ages, which is now being housed in the Franklin Avenue Baptist Church right there on Franklin Avenue. The old one, not the new one in the east, but the old one on Franklin Avenue. So you get a chance to have some room, because people need some room up in there, and they got some room for you. So make sure you go support this young man, and I think that everybody needs to go and have some church service for Christmas and New Year's. Be thanking for another year, and be able to make it into the new year. All right. So we got that out the way. We had two great conversations. Some stuff happening in the news that I want to make sure that we are having a conversation about. And I want to bring up several different things, but I'm going to start off with it on the national level. Are you all paying attention to this government shutdown that is on the way Saturday? Hello? Is this thing on? Are you paying attention to the government shutdown that may be on the way on Saturday? I know we hear that so much to the point where, you know, they come up in the last minute and said, "Oh, we're not gonna do it for, you know, the whole year, but we're gonna do a government shutdown. We're gonna stop this government shutdown so that, you know, you'll be at least able to operate for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, and then we'll revisit it again." When did this become such a weapon? The governmental shutdown. This became such a weapon for either the Democratic Party or either the Republican Party to use in their arsenal of tricks to scare the hell out of everybody and to make sure that they get what they want. Because they're not going to shut the government down. They if they do, they might do it for a week. But your president-elect Trump is telling the federal government and saying to go into a shutdown this weekend with a Wednesday evening tweet saying he doesn't approve of the resolution that House Speaker Mike Johnson negotiated to continue spending until March. In a long message on X, Trump, along with Vice President J.D. Vance, wrote that Congress should increase the debt ceiling, which allows the government to borrow more on Democratic President Joe Biden's watch, and remove the additional provisions in Johnson's resolution, leaving only the part that would allow government spending to continue. Said we should pass a streamlined spending bill that doesn't give Chuck Schumer and the Democrats everything they want. Republicans want to support our farmers, pay the disaster relief, and set our country up for success in 2025. The only way to do that is with a temporary funding bill without Democrat giveaways, combined with an increase in the debt ceiling, and anything else is a betrayal to our country, Trump advanced stated. Johnson said that he preferred a simple continuing resolution, but needed additional provisions to get enough Democratic votes to pass the continuing resolution and avoid a government shutdown. The government will lose its authorization to spend at 12:01 a.m. Saturday unless the legislation is passed. So what's today? Thursday. So you got Friday. And when they say 12:01 Saturday, this ain't 12:01 Sunday morning. This is 12:01 Friday night, Saturday morning, okay? So House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said that House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. So are they willing to shut down the government to get their way? And are you prepared for it? So I guess the question would be is if there is a government shutdown, what will be affected? So let me read this part to you where it says Johnson angered many right-wing Republicans with the 1,547-page continuing resolution released Tuesday night that included many demands that Democratic House members, such as an additional $10 billion to help the farmers show up their finances to the point that the banks would lend them the money to plant crops, $100 billion to refill a completed fund for disaster victims' recovery, and a pay raise for lawmakers. Johnson can afford to lose only 3 Republican votes in January when he stands for re-election as Speaker of the House. National media, such as Politico and Punchbowl, report that several House Republicans are saying that they won't back his bid and are floating possible names as replacements. Johnson won his position in October 2023 after right-wing Republicans orchestrated a coup to oust his predecessor, who was Kevin McCarthy. They were angered that McCarthy had negotiated with Democrats to find enough votes to avoid a previous shutdown. So, and I remember that, McCarthy. So, as a matter of fact, you could have been still the Speaker of the House if you hadn't dogged the Democrats, because you dogged the Democrats, asking them to go with you, and they saved you. And then you went on a news channel and talked bad about the Democrats and said how they did so bad upon you. And I was like, wow, after they saved you, that was enough for them. And then you could not come back the second time because nobody was trying to vote for you that was Democratic. So sometimes you just got to watch what you say and what you do. So a bill making further continuing appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025, and for other purposes. 1, be enacted by the state and House representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. This act may be cited as the further continuing Appropriations and Disaster Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act 2025. The table of contents of this bill says short title and then the table of contents. My question to you, my friends, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422, is that we're the richest country, we're the richest country in the world. We spend billions and billions of dollars on some stuff that we probably don't even need, including a lot of military stuff. Why are we shutting down anything? And then the first thing that comes out of your mouth, and this is just me, is the fact that we have a spending czar. These two Yankees that have come in here to tell us that we need to cut a whole bunch of programs, but yet the lead man is saying, yes, we need more money, but we need to raise the debt ceiling. If we raise the debt ceiling for you, how come you didn't want the debt ceiling raised for anybody else? And then criticize them for trying to raise the debt ceiling. I don't know. Is that politics? Is that politics? Because sometimes the politics can get on your nerves. And if you don't understand the politics, those folks that are affected will be the first ones that are cut. Who do you think will be the first employees of the government that could end up affected by this issue? And maybe, just maybe, I'm being a little bit too ethnic. But I always look around and say, one of the first ones I see them cutting is all those folks that work at the post office. All those folks that I see, because you got more of us that probably work at the post office, the USDA, and a couple of other agencies than anywhere else. Y'all thought about that? Boy, we get a post office job, yeah. People be at the post office for 30 and 40 years and retire because they get good pay. They got a nice job. They understand logistics. And you're not just sitting around twiddling your thumbs. You working. I got more black friends that have had jobs at the post office than any other governmental agency. Have y'all thought about that for a minute? They even got their own union. So what's to come? What is to come? We'll talk about that for a minute. We'll give you a chance to, if you want to, 504-582-9422. Then I got to talk about this. I said I was going to be nice. I said I was not going to be pointing the finger, but because I want the family of this gentleman to know that our hearts go out to you. But y'all, have things gotten so bad that we are now seeing the heist, the carjacking, the vanjacking of Amazon trucks, of post office trucks when they're delivering and doing their job? And then what I didn't really pick up on this jazz the other day, but I picked up on it and I saw the story and I said to myself, well, I'll be damned. You can't even be the Cox cable man no more? without somebody trying to jack you and take all your cable. They killed and shot. They shot and killed the Cox Cable man. Hello? He was in the 8,000 block of Dwyer Road. Adam Brown, a Cox employee, shot Monday afternoon in New Orleans East and died at the hospital. Are you kidding me? NOPD detectives learned that Williams tried to rob the worker before the deadly shooting. Jalal Williams is who I'm talking about. They said he was arrested by U.S. Marshals and NOPD at 5:45 a.m. Thursday in a 1,000 block of Loyola Avenue. He's booked, and guess who got him? The sheriff. He's in the Orleans Parish Justice Center, charged with second-degree murder. They killing the Cox Cable guy. He's just doing his job. What you trying to steal from the Cox Cable truck? Is that the cable? Copper? You got to be kidding me. I don't think I heard that one before. Have I heard that one before?
I don't know, because I'm not even sure cable wire is made of copper.
Cable wire has become more so, I don't think the copper component is a part of it no more. I think it's
right. It's more like fiber optics.
Fiber optics, yeah. But when I saw this, I was like, they shot the Cox Cable guy? For what? I thought it was maybe a domestic issue or something like that. So they were like, no, he was trying to rob him. Of what? The truck? Because I would have gave you the keys. That's their truck. You know they got trackers on all of them. They'll find it. But I had not heard, and maybe I was just being a little bit too dogmatic on other topics. And then I heard it again. And I was like, wait a minute. Did that happen here? And then when Channel 6 had done the story and they were showing the mugshot and then said it was in the Orleans Justice Center, I was like, that is here. That is here. They killing the Cox Cable employees. Now, are the men that's climbing the poles or in the bucket trucks, are they gonna have to have the sheriff deputies or NOPD in a unit out there while they're working on the poles? Now on some of these stories like TMZ and some of these places, some of these TV programs, they are now starting to show that they're robbing the United States Postal Service deliverers of their keys. And I was like, what are they taking the keys for? It's supposed to be some type of key that they open up the, it's like a universal key or something that they can open up the mailboxes and stuff. They're trying to get in the mailboxes and steal stuff. Like, y'all, where are we living? This ain't no third world country, is it? Because I'm really starting to feel like with some of this stuff, that's kind of third worldish. And then, God forgive me for talking about this situation in such a derogatory manner, but I think it's just crazy that we are listening to and hearing the news stories about the cable man got killed. Doing what? I thought they were going to tell me that something happened to the truck while he was driving. Maybe he fell asleep or something. So they were like, no, he got robbed. I'm like, they robbed the cable guy? For what? They said he was trying to steal the wire. It's like, are they fiber optic? They not no more copper. Why? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me. But this one made me go, something wrong with us. And I was about to ask the sheriff, is this one you need to get some mental health help to? Because something wrong with the story. Adam Brown was shot Monday afternoon in New Orleans East and died at the hospital. God rest his soul. And to his family, we with you. We are so sorry that happened to him. But Jaleel Williams was arrested by United States Marshals and NOPD at 5:45 in the morning on Thursday in the 1000 block of Loyola Avenue. Well, you know what? It almost flew out. It almost flew out at the same time because I was getting ready to ask a question. But if I ask that question, somebody gonna answer it. And the question was going to be, what's next? Something coming next. I don't know what it is, but something will come next. All right, y'all, we got to take another break. We'll take another break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with you in just a minute. Go through some more of this news because some of this news is depressing, and some of it's going to make you look around and just go, where that happened? We'll tell you in a minute. Everybody hold tight. There's more coming up right here on WBOK.
What is the way forward for New Orleans, Louisiana, or the nation? I'm Eddie Francis. Every week, I'll discuss issues that impact our well-being and how we can navigate those issues with a solutions-based approach. Join me every Saturday at 2 p.m. for The Way Forward on WBOK 1230 AM or streaming live at WBOK1230am.com on Facebook, YouTube, or the Play Ode app. WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Join the conversation Friday, December 20th, for Calvin Luster from Homebank during the Good Morning Show at 8:30 a.m. Don't miss Calvin Luster from Homebank live on the Good Morning Show, Friday, December 20th at 8:30 a.m.
Delgado Community College offers programs in business, technology, health sciences, and the arts with over 100 career-focused degrees and certificates that are affordable, flexible, and transferable. We can give you the knowledge and skills to succeed. Delgado is a great fit if you're starting your post-high school education, or we can help you advance or change your career. Take a step toward being unstoppable at Delgado Community College. Visit dcc.edu to learn more today.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Keep up with NOLA Public Schools through Education Elevation. Education Elevation will highlight the achievements, innovations, and contributions of scholars, educators, schools, and the district. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. for engaging conversations and updates as we strengthen connections and support the needs of our scholars. Mark your calendars for every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Don, marketing consultant with WBOK. I want to send a special thank you out there to all of our listeners, all of our supporters. I want to send a happy holidays out to everyone in the whole city of New Orleans. Enjoy your family time and be safe.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. check. Look.
All right. Welcome back. About 35 minutes away. Y'all coming up. We've got the sports report coming up at 4 o'clock today. Make sure that you check it out. It's going to be all of that plus a bag of dips and chips. Did you get a chance to listen to Ro Brown? Because Ro Brown had great conversation about what was the foundation? It was a foundation that they were raising money for, and DeMarcus was the person that was heading it up. So great conversation. Make sure that if you didn't hear it, go back and check it out. All right. So as I watch and look at the news, I love to talk about some of the stories that have been in the news. And I said, maybe I just need to have this conversation with my audience because I want to know how they feel about this stuff too. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this one, but I wanted to know how you all felt about this priest. That was sentenced to life in prison. He was sentenced in life in prison for kidnapping and raping a teenage boy in the mid-70s. Orleans Parish Criminal District Court Judge Nandy Campbell handed down 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole, one for the aggravated rape charge and one for the aggravated kidnapping charge. Hecker also received a 15-year sentence for aggravated crime against nature and a 10-year sentence for the theft charge. That is former priest Lawrence Hecker. He's already 93 years of age. He's 93 years of age. And they just sentenced him to a life sentence. Y'all know when I start talking about y'all's religion, when I start having conversation about religion, it gets real quiet. Folks don't like you. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Be quiet. Don't you say nothing. But it can't be. So let me say this. He sat inside the courtroom as 3 of his victims read their victim impact statements aloud. The victim in the case, which was convicted, recalled telling his principal at the former St. John High School that Hecker had raped him. The victim was told he needed to see a psychiatrist for his anger issues, for telling stories, or else he'd be risk expulsion from the school. He also described how the trauma has affected him in his adult life, saying he pushed his children away and he'd rather spend his time alone. And says in quotes here, "I want to apologize for all those adults who ignored them and allowed them to live in their pain and feel guilty and live with guilt for being victimized by a predator who was protected and shuffled around the state," says Williams. That's the district attorney. Upon leaving the stand, the victim told Judge Campbell that he didn't forgive Hecker. While holding back tears, the judge said that she hopes Hecker's sentencing gives the victim some sort of closure and that they can learn to trust people. Hecker's defense team says it's unlikely a defendant accepts a life sentence, which is, they believe, he feels remorse for his crimes. He came in here, he admitted guilt, He admitted to the crimes that he committed, said defense attorney Bobby Hortzberg. He took responsibility, he taken his sentence, and he will die in handcuffs. Archbishop Gregory Amen, who received much blame during Wednesday's hearing, released the following statement. It says, in quotes here, "Today is our hope and prayer that survivors of abuse perpetrated by Lawrence Hecker have some closure and some sense of peace in the sentencing. On behalf of the Archdiocese in New Orleans, we offer our sincere and heartfelt apologies to the survivors for the pain Hecker has caused them to endure for decades. To those who have to recently come forward after struggling with this pain, we commend your bravery and echo Judge Campbell's words that we hope you can again learn to trust. Our prayers are with all of our survivors, and when the bankruptcy is concluded, I will meet with those survivors who wish to do so." When the bankruptcy has concluded. Let me give you the number. 504-582-9422. What about this case? What about this case? What is it about this case? Because I got several things that I want to say. There's several things that I won't say. I'm just trying my best not to say it. But I'd love to hear what you got to say. At 504-582-9422. Jazz, I'm going to end up saying it, huh? I'm going to end up saying it. Okay. So as I look at this case, and I'm trying to figure out exactly on who did what, who were the victims here, and then when I saw Lawrence Hecker, first thing that I noticed about former priest Lawrence Hecker was that he's old, and he looked deathly old. That's the first thing that I saw. Second thing that I saw was that he ain't mind telling you the truth. He ain't mind telling you. Because I think he told several folks that he was raping those people. But they didn't take him seriously. Because he said he was in a situation where he was, what did they say he was being? He was being, he just didn't remember everything. Senile. The third thing about this whole case was that this happened in the 70s, right? 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. So this was 30 plus years ago. And I'm looking at Lawrence Hecker, and I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm saying to myself, oh, this man ain't got long. Because he deathly ill. He look like he can't even really have a full sentence conversation. He 93. I didn't know he was 93. And we just getting to the point where we putting him in jail. And he said he did it. Didn't nobody ask? What is that? Don't ask, don't tell? And now we say, oh, he gonna die in jail. Your attorney is like turn the blind eye on you and say, look, he said what he said. He said this has happened. He gonna be in jail for the remainder of his life, and ain't nothing else we can do about it. Why didn't this court case happen in the 70s? Okay, well, hell, let's try this. How come this court case didn't happen in the 80s? This 30-some years ago. Go ahead.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
What color is he?
Oh. All right.
Second question. What denomination is he?
All right.
All right. I'm done.
That's it. Got another one, though. And now here's the part that might get some people riled up. Like, oh, Lord, I can't believe you, G. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Archbishop Gregory Amon. They saying he part of the problem. You were moving him around. You didn't believe him. When the little boys came up to you to say that this was going on, you trying to tell them that, oh, yeah, by the way, if you tell that story again, I'm going to put you down and have you go through some type of chemical imbalance or some type of program. But in this story, they're saying that he part of the problem. And you had the audacity to write a statement? By the way, it is our prayer that the survivors of abuse perpetrated by Lawrence Hecker have somehow come to closure and some sense of peace in this sentencing. On behalf of the Archdiocese of New Orleans, we offer our sincere and heartfelt apologies to the survivor for the pain Hecker, which has caused them to endure so much. To those who have recently come forward after struggling with this pain for so many years, we recommend that your bravery and your Judge Campbell's words, as we hope that you can again learn how to trust. How'd that work? Somebody say something to you and be like, okay, I'm going to learn how to trust again. Or will I have problems forever? Not next week, probably forever. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm over 30 years old now. I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm trying to tell you that Father Poo-Poo was boo-booing in my boo-boo. I'm just saying. And you trying to tell me that hopefully your words will help you to learn how to trust again. Here's my other problem. You ready? Here it is. He 93. God forgive me for this. Did anybody else see that man on television besides me? He can barely walk. I don't think that this is going to go for a long period of time.
It absolutely isn't. Which makes it worse.
And I think it's a shame that you got these folks that's going to jail for the remainder of life. He going to Angola. And guess what? We're going to have to pay to keep him in there. I got to pay for him and my tax dollars to be locked up. To be a predator. I don't think it's going to last long because I'm more than likely, I'm going to be very honest with you. I think that somebody going to get him in jail. I think somebody going to get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna be quiet. Nothing good can come from what I was about to see.
No.
Nothing good at all.
But what got me in this story is the fact that I know they don't have nothing else to do, and I got to applaud the prosecution, Jason and his prosecutors, along with the sentencing that came from Judge Nandy Campbell. I got to applaud them for that. But I was saying to myself, well, this happened in the 70s. These men are grown, 40, 50-year-old men, and they had to live with that all their life, and y'all trying to talk about them having, I hope you can learn how to love again. What? And I had to live with this for over half of my life?
The bad thing is we was telling you.
And y'all ain't believe us.
We was telling you about this.
Right.
So, that situation right there is extremely hard.
I'm telling you that this man is raping me, and you telling me that if you tell it again, we're gonna make sure that you get expelled.
Yeah, the power of that specific turning my mic off.
Yeah. I thought it was me. I really did. I thought it was me. But I went and read it again and said to myself that this can't be. Now, does that put everybody in the same boat? Absolutely not. That don't mean that this puts everybody in the same boat. This means that there was a flaw in the system, and if there is an allegation that is being made to the powers that be in the Archbishop's tribe of the Archdiocese, you would think that it would be investigated. That's what you would think. But I told you what was going on, and you telling me you're going to expel me. Wow. Mr. Elmo.
Hey, love. First, wishing you a very blessed, prosperous Christmas, New Year's, brother.
Oh, same to you, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I call specifically to tell you, man, because I haven't talked to you in a few. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Well, again, I'm listening to you. I think it's a travesty, a disgrace. When any institution that's Christian, I don't care if it's Muslim, Catholic, Jew, Gentile, it's a what shame that the church handled it the way they did, and they almost got a pat on the back, and they almost get the pass, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Me and you supposed to we be in jail for the rest of our lives, might be dead penalty, everything. So it's really sad.
Yeah, I looked at this whole situation, and when I saw that she gave him the life sentence, I was like, go Nandy Campbell. Then as I continued to read, I read and said, okay, this man is 93 years old. He can barely walk. To me, now I'm not here to tell you how much time he got left on this earth, but it can't be that much longer the way that he's moving. And then I said to myself, why is it taking them this long?
The thing that I question, Gerard, is I'm sure I'm a Christian who happens to be a Catholic, but I've never been a priest. I don't think I ever qualified to be a priest. But the bottom line is they got to have a way of psychologically profiling, or not profiling, but find out if that guy originally being a priest was fit to have that kind of job. Mm-hmm. And the thing about you blame. To me, you should be sued Archdiocese and all the way to Rome. Because that's a travesty, man. They covered that up. They covered it up. The government covered it up. Thank God we had an attorney that had balls enough to want to do it, because they dropped it on him. But the fact of the matter is that should have been taken care of before the attorney got involved in it, man. That's what's so disgusting about it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I would agree. I would agree with you.
Yeah. So, it's really, I'm ashamed I'm a Catholic, man, when all that kind of crap was going on. Now, don't get me wrong. I heard what you said. It's not indicting every priest. I know some real good priests and nuns. But don't get me wrong. That puts a bad light on the Catholic Church, man.
Yeah. Don't forget they got another one now that a black priest, I forgot his name, but he's locked up now down in Texas because he was the father.
Well, you know what?
father of 2 children.
I read that on the internet. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I read that on the internet. You're absolutely right, brother.
Yep.
Well, look, I called specifically to wish you and I told Jazz Happy New Year Christmas to him yesterday. I don't feel ashamed to say it again, but hey, man, appreciate y'all, love y'all, and looking forward to next year to talking to y'all.
Absolutely, Mr. Elmore. Happy holidays to you and your family.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
All right, talk
Bye,
to you in a
man.
minute. All right, Mr. Don.
Hey, Gerard, good afternoon again.
What's going on with you, big money?
Man, I agree with Mr. Elmore, man. This is such a travesty. You know, I grew up Roman Catholic. Back in the late 60s, I was in elementary school. And there were rumors at that time, you know, that the priests were doing things with, you know, some of the boys that, you know, did all, you know, I guess the altar boy work and all. And it was rumored, but, you know, nothing ever happened at that time. But, yeah, you know, when I moved here in the 70s, you know, I heard a lot of stories about things going on in a lot of the, you know, Catholic rectories and things like that. And, you know, I as you said, I just think that something should have been done a long time ago. But the biggest problem that, you know, we had as far as knowing these things was that, you know, the young people, after they, you know, got out of adolescence, they were afraid to come forward because they might have mentioned it to someone in passing, and they just looked at what they were saying and didn't believe them and criticized them and told them that, you know, nobody's going to believe you. If you go forward, all you're going to do is hurt yourself, and, you know, people are just going to push it off. And, you know, you have to blame the archdiocese and what we found this, you know, around the country and probably around the world that a lot of these priests were doing these things. And, you know, only lately did these things come forward. And, of course, you know, the Catholic Church originally denied everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned before, what they did was they moved priests around. The ones that were having problems, they knew about it. They just, instead of, you know, kicking them out and calling the police and turning them in, they moved these people around to different, you know, dioceses. And next thing you know, this stuff was prevalent all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it goes to, you know, that the church itself needs to take a bitter stand on, you know, what happened during this time. And these people that are in charge now, like Archbishop Heyman, needs to be, you know, called to the carpet, you know, saying that, you know, the bankruptcy and all of this of the church. Man, all you do is look around and see that these churches are selling properties and different things, and they have more money than the law allows. And there's no way that these people can talk about being bankrupt.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something that, you know, the government needs to step in and look at what's going on and you know, bring these people, you know, I guess to a point where, you know, they need to drag them on the carpet and say, look, y'all have the power to take care of these people that have come forward and do so, and don't be talking about bankruptcy and things of that nature.
Now, I just don't think that there's no one that would take that lead and drag them on the carpet and say, listen, you know, from now on, this is the way you got to do it. I just don't think that no one would take that lead, and I don't think that there would be enough to follow whoever that lead is, and then they would be ostracized because of the fact that they had the audacity to say these are the policies, the steps that you need to have to be led.
Right. And, you know, even the Pope mentioned that, you know, he was sorry that these things happen, but as far as taking a stand and saying, look, we're going to pay for all these people that have suffered and all and be done with it, you know, he never came forth and said anything either. So, like you said, all they want to do is hope that this thing hurry up and be over with so they can go back to the things that they continue to do. And, you know, like Brother Elmore was saying, you know, being a Catholic right now, man, and, you know, I'm no longer Catholic. I've been away from there for a while, but, you know, the people that are still there, man, they have to question a lot of the things that are happening with authority and all. And
yes,
it's just a shame that no one, like you said, would step forward.
Yeah.
But anyway, Gerard, thanks so much for your time, man, and have a blessed happy New Year, okay?
Hey, same to you, Don.
Christmas.
Good to talk to you, man. Happy holiday to you and your family here.
All right, man.
All right, talk to you in a minute. Big said, Miss Jones, y'all hold on. Y'all gonna get the last word in just a minute here. We gotta take a break. We'll come right back.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Your Power is On gospel music show is coming on at a new time. Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to
all day long.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by
The
AbbVie.
New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is wellness advocate and host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind, Pastor David Patan. Every week, I'm educating you on how to be healthier by making simple changes to your diet. So join me every Saturday at 1 p.m. and let's get better together, only on WBOK 1230. What New Orleans is talking about.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
Parents, are you looking for a school where your child can excel? Look no further than Inspire NOLA Schools, home of the highest performing open enrollment schools in New Orleans. At Inspire NOLA, we believe in nurturing every student's potential, providing an excellent education, and supporting their journey to success. Enroll today for the 2025-2026 school year. Visit enrollnolaps.com to get started and learn more about our schools and programs at inspirenolaschools.org. Join the Inspire NOLA family, where excellence is our standard.
This is DJ Wick, producer at WBOK and host of the Throwback Throwdown and the Love Zone, wishing you and yours a very safe and blessed holiday season.
This is the coach, Garrett Sachere. The Sports Report is coming up next on WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. We're about 5 minutes away from the sports report coming up at the top of the hour. Big said you've been holding. What you say?
Hey, man, happy holidays again. Listen, right quick, I believe that 90-something-year-old priest or former priest, retired priest, pled guilty, right?
Yep.
All right, then. Hurry up and free up one of them 1,500 beds and let him go to Angola like you would do any other person.
Well, that's what
and that's all I got to say about it. Have a great
That's what they said he's going. He's going to Angola. So
ship him now. Next day delivery.
He tried to get him there quick. Huh?
Yeah.
He hasn't the Hobley Hill expire on the ride.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. All right,
you know what though, G? I feel where Shad coming from with that, right? Because when you break it down, and just like Don said, the people that's really at fault here, you don't want to blame the priest, right? Because not every priest is like that.
Right.
But here's the problem. The Catholic Church in general doesn't have a truth-telling style about themselves when it comes to stuff like this.
It becomes more cover-up.
Yeah. And I'm not throwing shade. I'm not lying. These are actual factual truths. And that by itself is to blame for why why the numbers have been going down. That in itself is the proof.
Yep.
So just saying.
All right. Miss Jones.
Yes, good afternoon to everybody.
Happy Kwanzaa greetings, everybody coming up. I don't understand why the families hadn't complained or done something. We don't know. But
why they hadn't complained?
Yeah, ever since the children, adults were, with children, they were going to the church or to the school, and they knew, I'm sure they complained to their parents or their family when they were younger. I don't know why nothing hadn't been done then, but people need to wake up. The Archdiocese, Walmsley Avenue, they're the ones to blame for it, and I don't understand why people continue giving their money. You're not going to go to hell. That's not tithing, giving for spreading of the gospel. That's lawsuits. And at 93 years old, he'll croak in about the next 2 months, maybe. Lifetime. Yeah. 24 months.
I just don't understand why it took him so long to do that. That was over 30 years ago when these allegations were made. So you're allowed to let him live a prosperous life until he's gotten decrepit.
The definition of diabolical.
And then the person, the victim, is suffering as long as he is breathing.
Yep.
It's a scar. It would never go away. And people forgive. They have to really look at what it is for forgiving and everything. Forgiving. This is something. And then they're going to let them get by with it, and then going to condemn the family or the person because they're not forgiven. Overlook that. No, they need to distinguish, what it is in forgiving and what come under that category.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sad. They've been criminals, and for a long time they want to cover up. They had problems. They move them from one place to another. I don't understand. Like I say, why do people continue backing up? Oh, I'm giving to my church. I'm giving this. You blame the administration. You blame the administration, because I had a little complaint for my mother's funeral. It wasn't anything nowhere near that, and the rudeness, and I never got an apology. So I could tell a lot about that. They're no better than you are or anybody else.
Yeah.
There goes your tithing in a court of law.
Yep.
There goes your tithing. Now, how are you going to answer to God for that?
I don't know, Ms. Jones. I appreciate it, though. But look, we got to get ready to get out of here. So you have a great holiday, too, here.
You, too. Y'all be safe, be cautious, stay healthy. We got to start off with putting Kwanzaa in full force more than ever before. People got to wake up, get their health together so they could think clearly, get all the junk out of their bloodstream.
Okay. Well, thank you, my dear. I appreciate you much.
I appreciate you, too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us. We got to get out and not just push people out. I don't want everybody to think that I'm just pushing folks off, but we got to be on time. I appreciate y'all for being a part of the conversation. The next show is getting ready to start right after news. What is that? It's the Sports Report. I'm glad you asked. All right, more coming up, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Coach is in the building next, right here on WBOK. Have a great rest of the day.
Campus of Xavier University. WBOK 1230 AM. Go. An Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Rudy Giuliani is facing a contempt hearing for refusing to disclose assets after being ordered to pay nearly $150 million to 2 Black Fulton County, Georgia election workers he falsely accused of fraud, leading to death threats. Black St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones has sharply criticized the developers of Homer G. Phillips Hospital in North St. Louis after it suddenly announced it was suspending operations. The hospital announced on Tuesday it was shutting down after opening less than a year ago. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams' former chief advisor Ingrid Lewis-Martin surrendered Thursday on bribery charges involving a hotel project and financial favors for her son. And dozens of Amazon workers in Queens are walking the picket lines, joining several other locations around the nation on strike. Amazon workers are demanding more pay, better benefits, and better working conditions. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
WBOK 1230 AM online at WBOK1230.com.
Word, I pull the trigger long, grip my teeth, spray to every brother's gone. Got my block sewn on my dope spots. Last thing I sweat, so suck up on cop. Move like a king when I roll hops. You try to flex, bang, another brother drop. You gotta deal with this, cause there's no way out. Why? Cash money ain't never gonna play out. I got nothing to lose, much to gain. In my brain, I got a capitalist migraine. Gotta get paid tonight to keep my hustle right. Quick when I speak, check my speak, keep my game tight. So many girls on my jock think I'm a movie star. 19, I got a $50,000 car. Go to school, I ain't going for it. Kiss my butt, bust the cork on the Moet. Cause I don't wanna hear that crap. Why? I'd rather be a New Jack hustler. H-U-S-T-L-E-R hustler.
Yo, man, you know what I'm saying? You got it going on, my man. I like how it's going down. You got the fly cloth, the girls, the jewels. Look at that ring right there. I know it's real. It's gotta be real. Man, you the flyest I've seen in my life. Yo, man, I just wanna roll with you, man. How can I be damned?
What's up? You say you wanna be down, ease back. A little brother get beat down out my face. Fool, I'm the illest, bulletproof. I die harder than Bruce Willis. Got my crew in effect, I bought them new Jags. So much cash, gotta keep it in hefty bags. All I think about is keys and G's. Imagine that, me working in Mickey D's. That's a joke, cause I'm never gonna be broke. When I die, there'll be bullets and gun smoke. You don't like my lifestyle, f*** you. I'm rolling with the New Jack crew. And I'm a hustler. H-U-S-T-L-E-R hustler. New Jack, New Jack, New Jack hustler. New Jack, New Jack hustler. New Jack, New Jack, New Jack hustler. New Jack, New Jack hustler. New Jack, New Jack, New Jack hustler. New Jack hustler. Here I come, so you better break north as I stride my gold chains glide back and forth. I care nothing about you, and that's evident. All I love is my dope and dead presidents. Sound crazy? Well, it isn't. The ends justifies the means, that's the system. I learned that in school, then I dropped out. Hit the street, checked the grip, and now I got clout. I had nothing, and I wanted it. You had everything, and you flaunted it. Turned the needy into the greedy. With cocaine, my success came speedy. Got me twisted, jamming to a paradox. Every dollar I get, another brother drops. Maybe that's the plan, and I don't understand. Damn, you got me sinking in quicksand. But since I don't know, and I ain't never learned, I gotta get paid. I got money to earn with my posse out on the air. Bump my sounds, crack a 40 and laugh. Cool out and watch my new Benz gleam. Is this a nightmare or the American dream? So think twice if you're coming down my block. You want to journey through hell when things get hot. Pregnant teens, children scream. Life is weighed on the scales of a triple beam. You don't come here much and you better not wrong move. Bang! Ambulance cot. I gotta get more money than you got. So what if some other brother gets shot? That's how the game is played. Another brother say the wound is deep, but they giving us a band-aid. My education's low, but I got long no race like a pit bull. My heart pumps nitro. Sleep on silk, fly like a politician. Mo's my best friend, cold as a mortician. Lock me up, this genocidal catastrophe. There'll be another one after me, a hustler. H-U-S-T-L-E-R hustler. Yeah, that's right, homeboy, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler. I got girls, money, jewels, you know what I'm saying? Got everything you want. Yeah, it is true, I gotta go upstate and give him about 10, you know? My lawyer wasn't on his job. You know, I tried to pay him, but you know, 70,000 didn't seem enough to keep me out. I plea bargain, I got 10, I'ma be back on the bricks, you know, 2009 or something, you know, but I'ma be okay. You know what I'm saying, baby? Yeah, my little brother did get shot out here in the street, but that's how it is, you know, it's fast lane, you know, and there's really nothing else I can do. I'ma get that money, I'ma stay out here and try to do what I do best, and that's hustle, you know? Yeah, you know, I know my mother don't want me to do this, but I ain't got nothing else I can do. You know, I'm just trying to get paid, you know. Say what? My best friend just got shot.